We should be live in like maybe 30 seconds or less. We should be live in like maybe 30 seconds or less. Okay. All right, guys, you can see the link. If you're in the YouTube, you should see the link. I put the link out there. So, 1 second.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
I'm good, sir. You?
Hanging in there.
Sounds good, man.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
And I said, yes, sir.
All right. So it's like we like the first one on there?
Oh, no, we got a couple more people. Everybody just mute their mic. They're just quiet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we are live, though. We're just waiting for a few more people to come in. Right now, we have 7.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Again, if everyone can bring up their YouTube and just hit the like button on the video, please. Hit the like button on the live. Go on to founding players. And you should see the live. We got 3 likes, so we got 7 people. So if we can get 7 likes. Tatiana, if your guests come in, just let me know, because I'm probably not going to see when they come in. Tatiana, you can hear me?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. Guys, don't forget to like the video. I still only see 3 likes. Just give me a second, guys. I'm trying to let people in. Alan, you here? Yeah, I see you. As I see a Alan, it says join in. I'm not sure if that's another Alan. Yeah,
Well,
you're here. So there's another.
yeah, I'm here.
Alan. Yeah, but there's another Alan that says join in.
That may be me as well, because I was having technical issues.
Oh, you're Alan twice.
Yeah, I had to leave and come right back.
Oh, okay.
At least I think that's me, unless they identify themselves.
Yeah, one is still connecting. We got 9 people in so far. All right, well, in the meantime, I'm gonna go and, share my screen and just do a quick introduction. right, I'm back. Okay, welcome everyone. I'll start with my introduction. I'm Savon Smith, founder of Savon's Academy Stars basketball program with the city of Royal Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. I'm also the founder of Founding Players. Founding Players came to be because of the founding players that I started the basketball program with. So I wanted to pay my respect to those guys who helped me as young men to build a basketball program. And I wanted to teach them financial literacy. So what better name than to call this organization Founding Players, named after them. That's pretty much it for me. So let's go down the line. Alan, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was having slight technical issues. Well, my name's Alan. I have 14 years in the banking field and 6 years currently in real estate. And, just happy to be here so we can share our thoughts and build upon each other and ideas, which can get us to our ultimate goal of financial independence.
Yes, sir. So we can go down the line. Anna Vane, you're here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Anivan Marius. I'm have an accounting background. I'm actually an accountant, run an accounting firm, and been an accountant for about 20 years. And I'm just here to learn from you guys about stocks and things.
Okay. And we'll just go down the line, guys. Just take your turn and introduce yourself really quickly for those who wants to introduce themselves.
All
Pierre?
right. My name is Pierre Abraham. I work for FedEx. I've been in FedEx for 13 years now, and previously I was a professional DJ. So no, I'm here just to learn about stocks. I've been a week in the stocking right now, so I'm just learning and then share ideas with you guys.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Hi, my name is Chadwick Pierre Lewis. I currently work at the Palm Beach School District, Royal Palm Beach High School, as a JV head coach, and I also work with Savon's Academy Stars, or SAS now, Royal Palm Beach Stars, as one of the coaches, and I'm on board with Founding Players and SAS for the Village, Royal Palm Beach. And I'm here it's my first time on here. I'm here to learn, just like Alan and all of you guys.
All right. Welcome, Chad. Yep, Chad is one of my former players, one of the founding players. Just to brief you guys a little bit about Chad, a quick story. Chad is, not the biggest person, but he got the biggest heart and he works hard, so Chad, I used to put him on the tallest guy. How tall are you, Chad? Chad, how tall are you?
Like 5'6".
Okay. And if the guy was 7 feet, I used to put Chad on the guy. So, I believed in Chad because Chad worked hard and Chad still works. Yes, sir. Thank you, Chad. All right. With that being said, Alan, I want to turn it over to you so you can, talk about some ticker, and then we'll get into some other things.
All right, I had to unmute. Sorry about that. Yeah, just
before you do that, you want me to read the disclaimer?
yes.
Okay, give me a second. Okay. We are not financial advisor. This video is for entertainment and education purposes only. This video is not financial advice. You can lose money investing into the stock market. We are not liable for any losses that you incur from investing in the stock market. I shall not be held liable for any losses you may incur while investing or trading on the stock market. Contact a licensed professional in your area for professional advice. With that being said, we are just here to share information and bring our group together and help each other. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay. As most of the group knows, there was a big catalyst that happened in the past, 24 hours. They rolled out the stimulus. So I just want you guys to keep in mind, and ladies as well, that this will definitely affect the stock market. As everyone can see, we've been in a market correction, which I don't mind. I look at it like a clearance sale. Everything been red. Some people run away scared, but to me, that's an opportunity to get into some plays that were too expensive. You know, like Tesla had dropped close to the 600s, I believe. You know, a few plays I want to put on your radar. There's one called ZOM. Z is in zebra, O is in Oscar, M is in Michael. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just letting you guys know some of the plays that I'm in. ZOM basically is a medical company that specializes in medicine for veterinary services. Basically, they make medicines for animals, dogs and cats. This play right now is pretty low. It's at a buy zone. It's within, I believe, $1.99 per share. But if this is a play that you want to get into, this is something you may want to look into as soon as possible, because they're soon to release their patented medicine called True Forma. So this play definitely has the opportunity to run up. Some people tell us, hey, I don't have a lot of money to invest in a market. There's another play right now called Z, and someone else put me onto this one. Sorry, it's XALL. It's basically a fintech company that has to do with Bitcoin technology. And this play is within 3 cents. So this is a penny stock, which is very volatile. But again, it has to do with Bitcoin technology and fintech payment services, which obviously you can see on the rise. Another play we wanted to put on your radar, OCGN. Me and Savon talked about it many times. I got into that play when it was around 67 cents. This play ran as high as $18.77. And the reason is, and again, let me repeat it. It's O as in Oscar, C as in Charlie, G as in George, N as in Nancy. The reason that this play has been running up is because they're developing a vaccine right now. They're actually partnering with a company based in Pakistan that has a vaccine that's been very successful. So this play has went up as high as $18.77. It dropped as low as $6, right? And when it dropped as low as $6, I bought some more. And then on Friday, it ran up close to almost $13 because the country of Brazil announced that they want to buy over 20 million vaccines from them. So that's a play I want to put on your radar, because this play has, again, you invest at your own risk, but this play has the opportunity to run up pretty high once they roll out that vaccine. Just like Moderna at one point was $7, now Moderna is about $170, $150. So again, just putting this on you guys' radar, and definitely do your own due diligence and research, you know, which is easily accessible through sources like Google. You know, you can Google these ticker symbols I'm giving you and do your own research to decide if you want to get in. And let me see. And there's another company as well. It's actually a blockchain Bitcoin EFT. So if you don't want to get just into one Bitcoin stock or one fintech company, you can always get into an EFT. There's one called B as in Bob, LOK. All right, that's where you can get a little piece of all the Bitcoin companies and fintech technology coins in one company. So again, those are just a few ticker symbols I wanted to put on your radar. I'm pretty sure Savon may have a few more. But definitely come Monday. I can't tell you what day. Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller, but this week the market will definitely move. Which way, I don't know, but with the stimulus, again, that's a big catalyst. The market will definitely move big this week. So just be prepared, guys.
All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask everyone that's on, if you don't mind checking your YouTube chat. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video on the YouTube, like the live, and check the YouTube, because I just put all the ticker symbols that Alan just ran over in the chat. That way you could do your own research and check into them. Anyone else want to step up in the meantime while I'm typing? And do me a favor, guys, and interact in the chat as well. You know, speak about the Airbnb for those of you who know that we have an Airbnb in Jamaica. If you're not going to speak about the stocks, you know, maybe just put a few words in there, book with us, you know, book our Airbnb, you know, interact in the chat. Our Airbnb is $85 a night. It's in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. It's in a community called Columbus Heights. It overlooks, you know, the city. It's a great view. You just saw the video, you know, so you can book us on Airbnb. So again, we got that property because we wanted to invest, you know, so we could show you guys that investing, you know, is the best thing that you could do. Anybody else want to jump in before I begin to speak on some things? Give somebody else a chance. Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to say something? Please do so. I would like to also invite anyone that's listening out there, you know, to maybe say something if you don't mind, you know, maybe you know something and want to inform us, you know, you can also speak. I know sometimes we have people just listening, just watching, you know, because we do have quite a few subscribers, you know, that may be paying attention. Our subscriptions have gone up. I believe we're like 6 away from 800, and most of these subscribers are people that we actually been interacting with. You know, it's not no subscribers that we, you know, we just got from out of the thin air. You know, we actually have subscribers that we've spoken to, you know. So I know a lot of times people like to just pay attention, you know, but if you have anything to say, whether you type it in the chat or, you know, you want me to drop my link and you come up and speak with us, you're welcome. But before I start speaking, I'd definitely like to hear from someone else. You know, maybe some of you have done research and, you know something and want to share it with us.
We have a question in the chat, just so you know, in the YouTube page.
Okay. Any info on lithium batteries? I think Alan, you was touching on that, so I'll let you answer that. I also believe I shared that with you earlier too. A company that Rod actually sent in our group chat. Alan, you there?
Sorry, I was on mute. Which one is it? Could you refresh my memory? Because there's so many companies.
One of the last texts I'd sent you, I'm not sure, maybe you could look back, because I didn't take the time to do any research on it yet. I know Rod had forwarded it to me, and I know you were saying that you wanted to look into some, you know, batteries. I'm not sure if you've done that and found any companies yet for that, lithium batteries.
Well, there was one that I mentioned the last call or the last meeting. It's ABML. A is in Apple, B is in Bob, M is in Michael, L is in Larry. Basically, it's American Battery. They're getting ready to open up a site in California. Very important because it's going to be near the Tesla site. So this company has the opportunity or the chance, that probability that they can be, and it's not guaranteed, but they can be acquired by Tesla. So that's a company that recycles lithium batteries, right? So that's one that you could look into. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm just giving you something to look into, to do your own due diligence and research. And also, I believe Savon typed one in the chat, IDEX. What I like about IDEX, the IDEX, it's in the YouTube chat. What I like about that ticker symbol, they're not just one EV company. They do everything. They do commercial electrical vehicles. You know, basically, I believe, don't quote me, if for San Francisco, they're trying to get a contract with them to do their buses, right? All full electrical buses. And I did some research yesterday, and what I like about them, you know, those pads I was explaining to Savon, just like you got those pads where you can place your cell phone on there and it just charges your cell phone. You don't have to plug it or anything, right? This company, IDEX, I don't know about other companies, but they're one of the only companies that's doing wireless EV charging for your vehicles. So what that means is you just drive over the wireless pad, or the, not wireless pad, but the charging pad. You don't have to get out of your car. It charges your car while you're in there. And I believe they're trying to do it in under 8 minutes, a fully charged battery in your vehicle. So they definitely got a lot of things in the works. That's one company I would definitely recommend you look into. IDEX, IDEX, because they're involved in the battery charging, the commercial EV vehicles, the green energy. They're involved in everything, fintech, Bitcoin, everything. So that's a good ticker. If you're not involved in it, look into it. Not telling you to buy into it, but look into it, especially now while it's at a good cheap price.
Okay. So I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to let you guys know that some of the stocks that I have that's performing well, and yes, they are down right now. Not all, but majority are down, you know, because of the correction that's happening on the stock market. But what I did was, based off of what's happening around us, I basically did research and figured out the companies that I needed to invest in. You know, some of the companies Alan shared with you. IDEX was one of the companies that I've been buying shares for quite some time. You know, so out of all my stocks, I actually have the most shares in IDEX. You know, because as he mentioned, being part of the blockchain technology, if you don't know much about blockchain, you know, go ahead and, you know, Google blockchain. That way you can learn, you know, what blockchain really is. You know, Google DeFi as well. Okay, so that way you can educate yourself about what's happening around you. And I believe that you should be investing in what is happening around you. You know, we can use it, for example, the coronavirus. What is needed, you know, is vaccines. That's in demand. You know, once coronavirus hit us and we did not have a vaccine, vaccines were in demand. You know, so just think of the fact that we have 2 vaccines on the market right now in the US. That means we need more, you know, and more is going to come. So research which companies are going to be coming with vaccines, you know. So that's my advice to you, is to look into what is happening around you. Vaccine is one. Next thing that's happening around you is cryptocurrencies. The financial system, it's changing. Out with the old, in with the new. There's a lot of new going on. So do your research, find out what is going on around you. You know, and there's a lot of new companies coming to be. Invest in startups. You know, there's companies that's established. Don't be afraid to invest in startups. You know, remember, Tesla started somewhere. Apple started somewhere. You know, Google started somewhere. Amazon started somewhere. So you have to think about startups, invest in startups. Do your own research and invest in what's going on. I keep saying it because this is how you grow your portfolio. This is how you build wealth. You know, some of the bigger companies, it's hard to build wealth in them because they're more expensive for those who don't have, that type of fund to buy a whole lot of shares. So find the smaller companies that are capitalizing on what is happening around us right now. And in our group, we do our best to find those companies. Alan just went over some of those companies with you. One thing that we need to do as investors is we have to stay the course. Don't get in and jump out. We have to stay the course, guys. Alan,
Okay,
you want to add anything?
Yeah, and one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and I brought it up to Savan. One thing, anytime you do your research, you want to see what type of problem we're having now, right? We're having a problem with vaccines, so we know vaccines are big. We have the thing where, the powers that be are trying to fight against Bitcoin because it's new and they don't understand it, right? And so that's a problem. Another problem I want to put on you guys' radar is car manufacturers. They have an issue right now. They have a shortage of semiconductor chips. So I brought that up to Savon on Friday. I said, you know what? We can't just look into EV. We can't just look into Bitcoin and fintech. Again, you have to look at what problems are going on right now and what companies are trying to solve it. So when you guys do some research some companies that manufacture semiconductor chips that goes into vehicles. Because I read an article where Ford had to temporarily shut down one of their manufacturing plants because they were out of chips to put in their vehicles. So now the Biden administration is they're trying to put this actually in a stimulus plan to get companies to mass produce or make more semiconductor chips. So you may want to look into companies that manufacture it. There's some of the ticker symbols that's expensive. Some of them are not too bad, but that's something I want to put on you guys' radar. Like Texas Instruments, that's a company. Their stock is uptrending. Why? Because they don't only make calculators. Because when you think Texas Instruments, like, man, they make those graphing calculators that I used in high school or college. No, they make chips, semiconductor chips that these car manufacturers rely on to keep the car running. To go on so again, this is what you guys want to do some research. There's another ticker symbol, A as in Apple, V as in Victor, G as in George, O. They also make semiconductor chips. Siemens, they're involved in a mobile phone business, but they make semiconductor chips. Again, just do some research and you'll find some companies out there.
Good information. That's very good information. Okay, Alan, I want you to touch on the market, recovering, if you don't mind. I mean, I can, but I would like to hear your insight on, just staying the course and allowing the market to recover.
Well, what I've learned now is when I invest, and again, I always emphasize this: I'm a sponge. I don't know it all. Nor will I ever know it all. But the way I invest now versus how I used to invest before, I used to just invest in what I thought was popular. And the minute I see my money going down, I get scared and I just start selling. What people have to realize with the market, and again, just explaining it in simple terms, is when your money goes down, you didn't lose. That's something called a paper loss, right? It's just like a roller coaster. A roller coaster eventually goes down and it eventually goes up, right? So if I put $100,000 in the market and then I check my balance on Wednesday and it's 75,000, that's going to stress me out. Most people are going to sell. Once you sell, you accepted that loss, but it's important that you stay the course. Some of my favorite stock guys I follow, They always say, if you believe in a company, make sure you buy the dip. But if you're in a company, if you're invested in a company that you're not too sure of and you didn't do research, you have to question yourself. Okay, why am I in this company? Do I believe in this company? There's a lot of times I wanted to rip out the hair that I don't have anymore. When I saw stock, going down, and I'm like, man, this is very bad. But you know what? I believe in the company. I kept doing my research. I said, you know what? This company announced that they're going to release a vaccine. They're partnering with a company. And in real brief, and some of you guys may know this, sometimes the stock may go down because they're raising money. That's what I realized. If you do some research and you realize, okay, why is the stock going down? Then you review the news and you're like, okay, they're doing a stock offering. They're trying to raise money. When they do that, basically the stock starts to drop, right? So for example, I was invested in OCGN. Remember, that stock was $18 at one point, and I had a choice. I was up maybe $7,000. I could have took that money and said, you know what? I'm going to take my profits and, which I could have did a swing trade, but I stayed in there and it dropped from $18 to $6 and I was stressed out. But you know what I did? I loaded up some more. I said, something's going to happen with this company because they're working on a vaccine, right? So I just want to emphasize to you guys, just in case you see a stock dropping, it doesn't necessarily mean you're losing money. Again, that's just a paper loss. Just do your research and trust your research. And again, when you see a company drop, or the stock drop rather, that could be a buying opportunity to load up. Just like I'm in another stock called CCIV, and I talked about this on the last call. They acquired a company called, what is it called? Lucid Motors. This is supposed to be one of Tesla's biggest competitors. One of the guys who works with Lucid Motors, he used to work at Tesla, right? This stock was $14 at one point. I didn't buy in because I wasn't sure, because I was waiting on a merger to happen. Now the stock it went up all the way up to $60. Now it dropped to $30. And I had to remind myself, I went to go look at the history of Tesla. 5 years ago, Tesla stock was $74. Now Tesla stock is over between $650 to $765. So again, you guys got to research your company and stay the course. But you can look up this company. I'm going to tell you guys the name. It's called Lucid Motors. They're trying to release their first vehicle, I believe, by this summer. And the car basically has a better battery than Tesla, so it's going to be one of Tesla's biggest competitors. So again, look up the car. Just don't go based off what I say only as your research. Look up the company and look up the vehicle, look up their vision, look up the CEO, and go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share some of my other ticker symbols that I have, so you guys could do your own research and invest in them if you like what you see. So I'll share with you in a few, but I'm gonna share how to really build a business, and I know we got a couple people on here who probably have their business. I know Anna Vane have his business and he does taxes, so he can also touch on this, after I say what I'm going to say, based off of the fact that I learned this from my lawyer, who went to Howard, and I did not go to Howard and I did not get his degree, but he certainly gave the knowledge that he had to me, and I was a sponge and I listened. So I'm going to share something with you guys. So basically, let's just use the fact that, and the reason I'm saying this, because, when you invest in a stock market, you want to actually think like this. You have to have a plan and you got to execute your plan, so I use my program, for example. So let's just say it takes $50,000 to run your program for the year, and you have a 5-year plan. So basically, $50,000 in 2021 is not going to cut it, even though your program is $50,000 for that year. You may want to double that. Why are you doubling that? because when 2021 is over, you have to be prepared for 2022. And before 2023 comes along, you have to have that $50,000 in place. So it's basically having a reserve fund. That way, when emergencies come, you not dipping into the costs that it costs you to run your program because you did not plan for emergencies. So when you're planning for emergencies, it's that extra $50,000 planning for the next year, that's to come. So now you may be able to dip in, and even though you have to replace, you were able to dip into emergency funds based off of, the thing that you didn't know that was going to happen. So when you're building your portfolio, you have to kind of think the same way. You're putting money in, but you're putting it in for a number of years, and you want to keep on adding money. You want to put yourself in a position to where you can invest. If you're working a 9 to 5, treat it like a business. So we all got to start somewhere. So just equal it to you're making $40,000 a year, or let's say the same $50,000 a year. And by the time you buy this and buy that, you have a car, you have a house, you got to pay for those things. If you're not going to pay for them, you're not going to keep them. So those are your expenses. So you're making $50,000 a year and your expenses are $40,000 a year. You're basically making $10,000 a year because you're working paycheck to paycheck to pay your bills. So now you have to have other source of income to bring in another $50,000, whether that's an extra job or get 2 more jobs or get a business to help out doing multiple things to bring in more money, and that's how you build wealth, or that's how you don't live paycheck to paycheck. So when good business people are managing their companies, they think about having a reserve fund and they don't overspend, else their business will fall. So when we're working our job making $50,000 a year and we're spending out 40, and then with the extra 10 that we have, we're trying to do our hair, nails, go to parties. Yeah, those things are all great. We need to have fun. But at the end of the day, maybe doing your hair once a week, maybe or maybe going to party once or twice a month instead of going every weekend, instead of looking forward to the weekend to go and spend some money, just put money into the stock market, put money into buying a home. Let's equal a home to the stock market. A lot of times when you buy a house, you may buy it for $200,000 and it may drop to 150. So now you're looking like, oh, I lost money. But if you keep that house for 5 years, are you going to lose? No, you're not going to lose. Most likely your home is going to go up because you held on to it. So that's what the stock market is like. It's been this way for over 200 years and it's not going to change. So when you see red, it's going to go green. And when you see green, it's going to go red. Anybody want to jump in? Annavane, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So what's your thoughts on what I just said? On anything you want to add? Like, you believe what I just said? What's your take?
You're right. Most businesses that starts 2 to 3 years, they fall or they closing their doors. It's because the owners basically don't watch or pay attention to the performance of the businesses. They don't keep track of the expense, how much they bring in, how much they need, or they don't budget or prepare for the future. So you absolutely hit it on the dot, man. So if we treat our paychecks like a business and watch the performance, we'll do better. We'll have money to invest. We'll have money to do what we need to do and have fun once our investments start kicking in and paying us back.
Exactly. So I mentioned that because, we all want financial freedom. That is why we'll buy a home, to, you know, hope that the home is going to cost more later in life, but, we want to buy 1 or 2 homes, but, sometimes we can't afford to buy 1 or 2 homes. So we invest on the stock market because we want to build our wealth, and it's a good thing to understand how the stock market works. You have to know yourself. You have to know who you are. So if you're going to put the time into educating yourself on who you are, you have to educate yourself in the stock market that you are investing in. You're going to buy these stocks. You have to know what you're buying. You have to do your research, just the same way I said, what is happening today? Should I be sitting there crying over the coronavirus? Should I spend my time being negative about what's happening? Should I spend the time acting as if I am a scientist when those scientists actually studied to be a scientist? Am I wasting my time wondering if I should be doing their job? No, they're doing their job. And I can only do what I can do to invest in my future. So if the opportunity is there for me to say, okay, why don't I research the companies that's making these vaccines and just find the best one? Put the time, use your time wisely, not into should I take it? Because last time I checked when I was growing up, last time I checked, I didn't even know myself. I was vaccinated. I don't know what's inside of me. And I've been living for however long. And it's like, I got needles. I don't know what's being inside of me. So the time that we spend, wondering what they putting in the vaccine, man, this is an imperfect world, and we have choices. We do. But at the end of the day, if your life depend on a vaccine, are you going to sit there wondering what's in it? It's like, of course I can wonder, but this is my personal opinion. I'm not going to be jumping to take no vaccine, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to die and I want to live, give me the darn vaccine. And I don't know what you gave me before anyway. But that's just my opinion. I'm not telling anybody to go and readily take the vaccine. I'm just saying, use your brain the best way you can. Don't use your mind. Your mind can steer you wrong. You can go follow somebody just based off of your thoughts. You're just thinking that, oh, let me go do it. Then later on, you're like, damn, I should have used my brain right there. Should have thought about it before I did it. So what I'm saying is, we need to put time into what's going to be beneficial to our future, because we can't live for today. We have to live for our future, and that requires investing. And I'll share this with you guys. I don't know if you ever listened to Warren Buffett, but he made this point. He stated, you can work your job and you could invest safe, the safe route. You can go with your bonds, you can go with your ETF, your index funds. And that's great. That's a safer way of saving your money. But remember inflation. Now, the richer guys, they take chances. Now, what do they take chances on? Stocks. Risky. They invest in risk. But because, poor people, they don't like losing money, so they take the safer route. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when we're searching for those startup companies like the Apples, what do you think those guys are living like now who invested in Apple when Apple was $1 and change? It's happening all over again. And that's what we're sitting here trying to do. We're bringing this group together so we can find those stocks and share it with you guys. And you just have to stay the course. Don't jump ship. Just invest and continue investing and wait it out. That's it. Someone can jump in while I go and get some ticker symbols to share. Quiet group. Anybody can jump in.
Anybody else have any thoughts what plays you're in, what's your, what thoughts or what platforms you use.
CJ, you still here? We got young CJ in the building, I think. CJ, are you here?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing
Hello?
much, man. Yeah, nothing much. I'm here. Chad, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I actually have a question
What's
on
up? That's what we've
penny
been saying,
stocks.
man. You guys are being quiet up in here. I gotta call you. Hey, what is this, Chad? Is it like the basketball team where I gotta tell y'all to shoot? Remember, y'all gotta take your shot. I can't take it for you. It's your future.
I know. I was just thinking.
All right. Chad, hold your thought. We'll let you ask your question, unless you're gonna forget it. I can get back to CJ. Ask your question then.
You talking to me?
Yes, ask your question. We'll get back to CJ.
I had a question on the penny stocks.
Go ahead.
How do you guys go about buying and selling on there with those?
Well, you can find penny stocks on a lot of different platforms. On Robinhood, on Webull, on Stash. Which I know you said you have. So you certainly can find your penny stocks there. If you can't find some penny stocks in one app, to search another. Don't just use one app and give up on the ticker symbol that we might have shared with you. Research it, and if it's something that you want to invest in, get the app that has it.
Okay.
We'd recommend that you guys download TD Ameritrade as well. That's an app that should have majority stocks. So if we share a ticker symbol and you guys wanted to research it and invest in it, TD Ameritrade is a good one to have, and I believe Fidelity as well. So I'll actually type that in. Okay,
Yes.
CJ.
Yeah, most of these stock trading platforms, at least I know for sure, like TD, they have stock scanners built within the app, right? Where you can go on the app and, well, I would say go on your desktop, because when you look at it through your phone, you can't see all the features. But if, for example, if you started a TD Ameritrade and you were to log in through your computer, you can search through their penny stock portfolios. Okay, so within TD Ameritrade, that's the only example I could use because that's the only one I have. As far as my major trading platform, they have stock scanners where you could scan for particular penny stocks. If you're looking for penny stocks in, say, marijuana business, you can specify that. If you're looking for penny stocks in Bitcoin or technology, you can scan for that. So when you say what we use, there's various sources. You can search online or you could use a stock scanner.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's why I want to emphasize to have multiple trading platforms. I know a lot of people just starting off, they just have Robinhood. Robinhood is not enough. Some of these stock tickers that I've named, you can't get them on Robinhood. You have to have, say, one of the bigger platforms like Fidelity or TD Ameritrade. So at least this is the way I operate, and some of the people I know operate. We have multiple trading platforms. If you have Robinhood, also have a TD Ameritrade, and also have a Webull, because all of them have their negative and positive. With Webull, you can start trading as early as 4 a.m. It's called the pre-market, and the market for Webull closes at 8 p.m. So you have more of extended trade time frame. With Robinhood, the market closes you can trade up until 6 p.m., I believe, with Robinhood. But there's some ticker symbols that's on Robinhood, you won't find them on Webull. That's why it's important to have multiple trading platforms.
Exactly.
Well, if you guys want, I can share with you my first week, my first trade experience. Actually, I started Monday. Monday was my first day because I was in a group chat with you guys last Sunday. So I did some research, try to learn some languages, the way the trading talk, some words I didn't know about with the last chat room. So I ended up open up because I had Robinhood before, but I never used it. So I ended up opening Weibo. I opened up Trade. So actually, my first research was about the CCIV thing. So I actually watched the interview from the CEO from the Lucid Motors on Tuesday on CNBC. So this is actually my first research, my first knowledge about stock. So it was a great week, but also it was a scary week because on the first week everything was red. So I didn't know what to do because it was my first week. Everything was red. Everything was dropping. So like you guys say, you don't lose until you cash the money out. So this is a learning experience, and then I'm ready for some more.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that experience with us, man, because you experienced the red, but because of our group, you not worried about it. So that's a good thing. So that's why sometimes it takes a group of people to help each other. Just think of it as a team. We're here to motivate each other. We're here to help, man. We're here to bring up each other, lift each other. A lot more of this is needed to where instead of speaking to people who don't know what they're actually telling you, go and seek people that actually know what they're telling you. Because we are doing our research. Right now, I'm putting quite a few ticker symbols in the group chat. I remember the last time, Alan, your roommate, was on and he asked me to share some of the stocks that I am invested in. And I didn't get a chance to do so, but I'm putting it in the group chat right now. Just sharing some stocks that I basically just research what's happening right now. And I just bought fractional shares of them. And I want to share something about fractional shares with you guys. If something is too expensive right now and you believe that it's going to grow over the next couple of years, just treat it like you pay your bills. Pay yourself. If you got to pay for your car, if you got to pay for your house, anything that you have to do where you're spending this money every single week and living paycheck to paycheck, if you are doing that, or if you're not living paycheck to paycheck and you have to pay your bills every single chance, pay yourself. These stocks that I'm sharing with you, do your own research. I pay myself. So you just gotta listen. If it's $10 a week, pay yourself. Do your research, and if it's a stock that you believe in, invest in it. Put more and more and more and more. If it's red, put more. So pay yourself. That's the only way I could use it. Give me a second. Give me a second. I think someone's trying to get in. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm back. So yeah, guys, just pay yourself. If you want to invest in Tesla because you believe in Tesla and Tesla is expensive, if you can't buy a bunch of shares one time, just put in. Same thing with Bitcoin. If you can't afford the $50,000 to buy a Bitcoin, put in, pay yourself, treat it like a bill. That's your money that you're investing. You're giving it to yourself. So now imagine that you're paying, imagine you find a startup company like Alan mentioned a few of them, and I'm just sharing a few of them with you. Imagine that you are paying yourself as if it is a bill that you have to pay in order to have a roof over your head. Do that for a number of years. And you're paying yourself and you are on your way to financial freedom. Guys, if you're buying milk, sugar, bread, eggs every single week because you need it, those are necessities. Invest in the things that you buy all the time. You're driving your car, you're investing in your car needs batteries, it needs parts. We have coronavirus on us right now. When they come out with their vaccine that's working, invest in it. Pay yourself through the vaccines that they're pushing out there. It's in demand. Pay attention to the news. What is in demand? And invest in yourself. You can't go wrong. You would never have gone wrong if you invested in Apple, just because you trust and believed in it. So you don't believe that there is stuff right now happening based off of coronavirus that you're gonna win? You're gonna win. You lose when you not investing. You lose when you're working paycheck to paycheck. You lose when you go to a 9 to 5 and you don't have the time to spend with your family. You need to buy back your time. If you're not having that time right now, buy it back for later. Education is the key, and you have to educate yourself. If you're not educating yourself, somebody else is, and that means they're doing better than you are. You got to do better for yourself. And that's investing. Invest in yourself. We don't need to be investing in other people's success. Invest in your success. When we're growing up and we're around our friends and they have on the Jordans because they love Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has a family that he goes home to every day that he's feeding. He's a popular guy. Are you a popular guy or girl? What can you do to popularize yourself? Me and CJ spoke about this before. He has a clothing line and his name is on it. How does his name become popular? Maybe by being in this group and investing in his future and listening to us and doing his research and building his own wealth and not relying on anybody else to do it for him. If we continue to just work 9 to 5 and live paycheck to paycheck, we'll never build wealth. You'd be surprised how every little bit adds up. Risky stocks. These are the type of investments that you see people that's rich do. They take chances. And what better chance to take right now than what's happening around you right now? This opportunity don't come around every year. This hasn't happened like this in a long time. So I can't say no more other than look what's happening and invest in it. And for you young people that's out there listening, invest in your future. You're lucky to be part of what's going on. I know I'm lucky to be part of what's going on. You know how much has changed for me since last year? I thought I was doing good before. If anything, coronavirus has stressed me out, but I have to go back and think 5 steps ahead, maybe 10 steps ahead of coronavirus. What stressed me out about it was I don't like sitting home and somebody telling me to stay home. That's what stressed me out about it, and wearing the mask. I don't like nothing over my nose. But I had to figure out, what do I do to overcome this? I have a problem being in a small room. Claustrophobic, I don't like that. You put something over my nose, I feel like I'm dying. But ask yourself, how did I overcome that by putting a mask over my nose? It's like there's quite a few people out there who don't like it either. But it's no different than being afraid to fly. It's like if you fly enough time, you might ask for wings.
Sorry, Savon,
Yeah.
quick statement. You have a question in the chat. I just didn't want it to go unanswered.
Okay. And again, guys, I put some ticker symbols in the chat, so you want to take them down and go and do your research. Be my guest. Okay, dokie. CJ, I'm gonna get to you in a minute, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Okay.
Oh, which one of the question? How do you know when to sell? Great question. Yeah, that's the one, right? Right, Alan? How do you know when to sell?
Yeah, that's the question I was, that's the
Okay.
question that I just saw in the chat.
We'll let you answer that one, being that you sold a few times. How do you know when to sell?
Well, there's no right or wrong answer to that question, basically. That's basically a open question. That's going to be based on your research, basically. You can sell too early and miss out, or you can sell too late. And, like, I give that example of OCGN. I had a chance of just that one day, that may not be a lot of, I was up $7,000, I could have cashed out right then and there, but I said, you know what, I'm up $7,000 from my original investment. I can stay in, or I could cash out. I chose to stay in. But basically there's several different trading styles. You got to decide, are you going to stay in long term, or are you going to swing trade? Swing trade is basically you buy it once it runs up and you feel like you have enough profit, you can sell it and buy back in later. So that question is kind of open. It all depends on what you want to do with that stock. Some stocks are considered long term. Like Tesla. Some people bought Tesla and said, you know what? Tesla went to $70. Let me take my, let me take my profit and sell Tesla. So that question is all going to be based on your research and how you feel. Me, I personally stay in this stock OCGN because I did my research and I know they're coming out with the vaccine in the US. It's international now, but they're trying to come out in the US. So I'm not allowing anything to move me away from that stock at this time. So the reason I'm in that stock is because of my research, because I know what's going to happen coming down the line with that specific stock.
Yeah, so I'll add in, since you said you gave your experience on selling, when to sell, so I'll share mine. I'm a long-term investor, so I don't try to sell much. So that means when I'm researching stocks, I do my best to try to buy stocks that I know probably next year is when I would sell. Now, I'm not saying if that stock goes crazy that I won't sell this year, but I buy stocks with the intentions that by next year is my goal to sell. So I'm looking for this stock I look at it like this. A couple $1,000s can't do nothing for me, except help me to pay a few bills here and there. $1 million, it may be enough, but it can run out quickly as well. So that's how I kind of look at where I want to go. I'm investing in companies that I'm going to spend a number of years saying, I'm going to hold on to that stock right there. If I do sell, if this stock say it goes crazy, if I do sell, Let's just say I have 1,000 shares of it. I may sell 300 shares. That means I have 700 shares left. So if I bought that stock at $1 and I have 1,000 shares of it and it goes crazy, like it goes to $100, and let's just say it goes to two, three, let's say it goes to $300, $400. I can sell 300 shares and still have 700 shares, because what if it goes to 1,000? I already bought it low. So that is my experience that I'm sharing with you guys. I bought it low. There's no way I'm giving up all my shares unless it's just a stock that I know they're done growing, or I know this is how far this can go. But like Apple, I learned my lesson. There are stocks out there like Apple, Google is like, they're not going nowhere. They're only getting better and better. They're changing with the time. So I'm always going to leave some shares, probably leave a lot of shares. Let's see how far this can go. So that's kind of like how I look at it, Chad, is if you're going to sell, it depends on the stock. Me personally, I invest in stocks that is going to last me a lifetime. If I have kids, they can invest in the stock. So because the stock is it's like Apple, they always gonna change. Look at Apple's price. They've been around forever. Apple is $100 and something. That's still affordable. You know, so trust me, man, you just got to do your research and know what you're investing in. And when you're gonna sell, my experience that I'm sharing is I'm not selling all my shares for the possibility of if that stock ever goes crazier, then it's gone. If it's gone crazy, it's probably going to go crazier. I look at it, if it's made me that much money, it's probably going to make me more money. So I'm not going to sell something I bought. I'm not going to completely sell all of something that I bought at $1 that goes to $100 and run out of it. And then if I see it keeps going, I'm going to buy back in at 100. It makes no sense. So if I have 1,000 shares, even if I sold 700 shares, I would still leave some shares and let it go where it may go. If it came down, guess what? I already made a ton of money from the shares that I sold, but I left some. So, you know, just think about that. I personally would not sell all my shares. Just like OCGN, I use it for example. I took a trip and I sold it. That was a mistake of mine because I'm not one that likes to sell. But I made that mistake and sold some of it, but I did not sell all of it. So I still got some shares. Alan still got all his shares, but I sold majority of it and I kept some of it. But I was mad that I sold some of it after I saw what it did. I sold too soon. And guess what? I knew that it was going to do that. So that was brain fart. Because when I mentioned it to a couple people in the chat and I mentioned it to Alan, I already knew it was going to do that. 29 cents I had that stock, 29 cents, and it went to $18. So Chad, to answer your question, do your research, know your stock, and possibly, you know, it's up to you. Don't sell everything. Now, I'm not no financial advisor. I'm just sharing my experience. And again, do your own research. And I think this is, well, I know this is education. This is financial literacy. We're educating people. You know, I'm educating, I'm being educated as well. We're all helping each other. So we're just sharing our information. And I'm just telling you personally, I wouldn't sell all my shares of anything. Now, only way I sell all my shares is if a company maybe go bankrupt or a company is just no good for me anymore.
Some folks have a approach where they buy, for example, 125 shares, and if the stock runs up, they may say, you know what, I still want to be in this play. let me sell. You could reverse this if you want, based on how how much profit you want to take. You could sell 100 and keep 25, or sell 25 and keep the 100 and use the profit from the 25 shares to buy in a different play. Therefore, you're still in that other play, but you're using the profit from part of the play to buy into another play without selling all of your shares.
Mhm.
Again, that's one, just one tactic you can use, because not everyone has the money to constantly put in the market on a regular recurring basis. So some people want to put a little bit of money and take some profits and grow their portfolio that way and get in other places.
Okay. All right. I want to some of the stocks that I put in there. I see, a question, and I'll get to that question in a moment. Some of the stocks that I'm sharing, I just shared the last one, HIMX, and I just want to let you guys know, due to my research, these stocks that I've invested in already and I'm sharing with you, they still possibly have great upside. But just keep in mind what I'm telling you, that I bought that stock that I just put in at $3.50, and now that stock is $13.50. And let's see. Okay, I bought that stock September 12, 2020. September 12, 2020. So last year, September 12th. And it was $3.50, and now it's trading at $13.50. And the high was, it went to $17.88. So it came down about $4, round that off to $4. So imagine you bought it at $3 and change, and it went to 17, almost $18. Now I'm sharing that with you because, as I'm telling you, do your research on what's happening, because these stocks are what's happening. So just do your research, guys. You can't really go wrong when you break it down to what's actually happening. And a lot of the other stocks that I put in there, whether I know nothing, I'm going to learn something, because what I do know is what's happening. So if I look at a company and I say, you know what, I don't know much about you, but I know that you're what's popping right now, and I buy that, whether I know that company inside and out or not, they popping. Because some of these companies that I literally just put in my portfolio from what's happening, I'm mad at myself that I didn't buy more shares, because they all popping. All of those stocks that I just shared with you. And guess what? I have over 200 of them, and I'm not even done. I'll put some more in next time, but for now, have fun and research those. And I'll share some more. The list goes on and on and on to how many things is happening around us that nobody's paying attention to, or letting it just sliding by, thinking about companies that they not popping, or you think they popping, but they're not popping like that, so just research what's going on, guys. All right, so to go to the question now, how can you sell partial shares on Robinhood? Okay, so on Robinhood, if you wanted to sell partial shares, let's just say you have 300 shares and you wanted to sell part of it. They have where you can buy in shares, or you buy in dollars. So you want to sell in shares, or you could do it in dollars. So in other words, if you have $10,000 that you've made on a stock, sell $5,000. You can put it in dollars, or you could put it in shares. So if you have 300 shares and you want to sell half of that, that's 150 shares. If you wanted to sell 5,000 of 10,000, same thing. Put in 5,000 and you sell half your shares. So that's how you sell partial shares. You put in the number that you want to sell.
It's just important to remember. I just wanted to remind, the listeners and, our group and our folks that's listening, that anytime you sell and you buy a different stock the same day, unless you had those funds available and the funds are not settled, Robinhood can basically put a violation on your account called basically you're violating a rule called the PDT rule, which stands for pattern day trading. So just be careful with that, because if you do it 3 times within, it's what, a month, I have to look it up. They can suspend your account, not indefinitely, but temporarily, and you'll be limited to the type of trades you can do for that day, because that app and other apps, they don't want you to be a day trader, basically. So you can't say, man, I'm up 5 grand, let me, cash out and take this 5 grand and go buy this other stock. And through the app, they actually give you warnings. Some of you guys know this already. I'm just speaking to the people who don't know this, so, and again, I'm just touching base on that because we're talking about how to sell stocks. And when you sell a stock, you may want to jump into another one immediately. And if your funds aren't settled, you can violate that rule.
Yep. So see, guys, it's important to put people around you who know what they're talking about. And we're not telling you anything or sharing anything with you that we haven't done or seen done or learned that it can be done. So take your life in your hands and invest at your own risk, but do the research. Do the research. We can tell you, but don't just count on us, because we are not financial advisor. That is something that I definitely want to look into, but at this moment in time, I am not one. But I know one thing for sure, that I am a smart guy who use my brain and not just my mind. And my brain is information is going in there based off of what's happening. Remember, 85% of the population don't know whether they're going or coming. I equal it to if you're in a classroom of 30 kids and every household is different. Everybody's teaching somebody something different in each household. You may have to evaluate the people that's around you and take pages out of people's book that's actually paying attention to what's happening in life. And you invest that way. Invest in your future that way. Pay attention. Peep what other people are doing. See if it's a success for them, else they're gonna leave you behind. You have to evaluate your own life by watching somebody else's life. It's time to stop watching people gain wealth and complain about it and go live paycheck to paycheck. It's time to stop that. It's time to carry our own baggage. Lighten your weight. Don't pay nobody else's. Don't pay your hard-earned money to somebody else that's running to the bank and then going home and sleeping and having their money work for them. I don't think I could say it any better than that. It's like, pay attention. When we were in school, a lot of people just don't pay attention. The coronavirus is doing the same thing right now to people. It's like 85% of the population 85% of the population is a scientist. Make sense of that. 85% of this population is speculating. Instead of like letting our mind just control us, is like, let's think about it. Like, think about your future. It's like, we can't go to work and start talking what happened at home, telling everybody our business. Like, maybe that's not so good. It's like, share the right information. when we're in school and there's 30 people in there and there's four to 10 people paying attention, ding, 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 let it register like, I'm not paying attention. How do I learn not paying attention? Maybe I think I'm too smart and I don't need to know what the teacher is teaching me. No. You always want to be locked in to what you're doing. If you're there, be there. Don't be there and your mind is elsewhere. So listen, we have this group so we can gain financial freedom. I don't want to keep up no more time. Anybody else want to say something? I'm completely done talking.
I had a question in the chat.
Huh?
I had a question in the chat about the ETFs.
Oh, CJ, you had a question about the ETFs. Before I answer your question about the ETF, I wanted to get back to you, but I didn't get to get back to you about, hey, very proud that you started your clothing line. And I spoke to you earlier about your name might not be known right now, but let's just use this chat or this group, for instance. Let's say you become a billionaire. Guess what? Equal that to you're driving a Honda or you're driving a Ferrari. Most people are gonna follow you, look at you because you got that Ferrari, man.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is build your wealth through the stock market. Invest in yourself. Don't count on nobody but yourself. And when you do that, your clothing line will fly off the shelf. 85% of the population who love to waste money will buy your shirt, buy your pants, buy your shoes. Because they love to spend. So guess what? Invest in yourself, believe in yourself, and that goes to anybody out there. If I'm gonna buy Michael Jordan sneakers, I better be going in his house, having dinner at his table. And that's when I finish putting all that money that I would have gave to his sneakers into myself. Now, when I have my success, I'll meet Michael Jordan and be like, hey man, can I get one of your sneakers? And I'll give you one of mine. Now we sharing. But because you know what, guys? The reason I'm saying that, whether you buy Michael Jordan sneakers or not, somebody else gonna buy it. So why is it you? Why are you buying it? You want to be like the 85% of the population that likes to just waste time and money? If you don't buy it, it go down to 84%. There's still a lot of people buying it. Michael Jordan is popular. Your sale is not going to hurt him. All right, your question? Okay, ETFs or a collective of other stocks. Does that make it more risky? No, it makes it less risky because let's use the S&P 500 for instance. Any companies that go on there, they're monitoring their success. So let's use Pfizer for instance. If Pfizer stock is not performing well, Pfizer stock has been 30 something dollars for the last 100 years. I'm exaggerating, but it don't move like a snail. It's like a snail. I'm like wondering what the heck's going on with this stock. So they got kicked off, not performing well. You know, who's making Pfizer's vaccine? A company called BioNTech, whatever you want to call it, partnered with them. But I'm not knocking the stock. But I'm saying I do my research, and there's no way I want $10,000 to stay $10,000 or to go from $10,000 to $9,000 back to $10,000 back to $850 back to $9. I'm not in there for that. I would rather see my $10,000 go down to $100 because it's doing something. So my stock got to do something. So basically, ETF is a collection of companies, and they have to be performing well to stay part of those companies. So now it's going to take you a longer time, a number of years to build wealth, but some people are okay with that, to where you could take 10 to 20 years to build wealth. Stocks are risky, ETFs are less risk. Still risk, but less risk.
Okay.
The ticker that I mentioned earlier, BLOK, that's a Bitcoin based, well, let me say blockchain based ETF. That ETF only invests in blockchain companies. This is what's on their website. The index picks blockchain companies based on a broad criteria. This includes companies engaged in proof of concept testing, companies profiting from Bitcoin, companies partnered with companies involved in proof of concept, companies that are members of groups that explore Bitcoin. So they do their research. They only let companies in their ETF that have a proven concept. Like, this company is making money. You're not just, you didn't just come up yesterday and said, okay, I specialize in blockchain and Bitcoin. But less risk because you have multiple companies. So one of the companies doing bad, the whole stock is not going to do bad because that one stock has multiple companies within it. But again, that's just one ETF, and that ETF specifically concentrates on blockchain, nothing else, just blockchain and Bitcoin companies.
All right, and we're gonna try to end it right here with another ticker symbol I just put in there based off of the fact that we're actually talking about ETF. Guys, this is no joke. If you want to build wealth, you're in the right place. And I'm saying it because it's proven. You have to do your own research with the information we're providing you, but that last ticker symbol that I just put in there, ARKK, ARK Investment, that was $10. $10 last year. And guess what? ARK Investment is investing in what is happening. So we'll end it right here. ARK Investment is investing in exactly what I'm saying to you guys that you should be doing. Invest in what's happening. And look at ARK Investment stock right now and check the history from last year, a year ago, and see where ARK Investment was at. And guess what? They're not even done, because there's going to be still new companies coming because of the new technology, because of the coronavirus. Over the next 5 years, Corona probably still going to be here, guys. So by no means is ARK Investment done growing. Take a look in Robinhood or any app that you're on, and you think Google is the only one that their price is high. We're in a different time. The stock market's been around for 200 plus years. We're going to a new high. They have it all right there in Robinhood. If a company goes to $17 and it drops back down to $14, mark my word that they're going to create a new high another time, the more popular they become. So if it was $17, it's going to blow through that at one point. And if it makes a new high to go to $30, it's going to take a while and blow through that one too. So if you're looking at ARK Investment right now at 100 and let's just say $100, it's going to blow through that. Do we know when? No, we can't put no time on it, but I'm promising you that that's the way the stock market works. ARK Investment, do your research. It's going to blow through where it's at. So now if you say to yourself, I am going to, the same way I pay my rent, the same way I pay my car note, the same way I buy food every week that I need so I can live, how about I do that in ARK investment, but do your own research. And that's it. That's it, guys. I'm wrapping it up right there. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you. And we'll do this again next Sunday.
Thanks for the info. I'll definitely look at the stock tickers.
Yes, sir. Do that.
Yeah, thank you again, Coach.
You're welcome, Chad. You can't, hey, do your research, guys. Don't forget. All right.
All right, fellas.
All right, everybody. Have a great Monday. And do your research and don't wait. Invest now. Set
Oh,
up a
that
real.
chat was jumping today.
Huh?
The chat was busy today. Like, it's huge.
You know, let's keep it going. Let's get it better. But you know, definitely. He said the chat was jumping, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it goes back to what I said, that Mercedes versus a Honda, or the
Mm-hmm.
Chrysler versus a Toyota. You know what I'm saying? When you start doing stuff, don't worry, the chat's gonna grow. So we're building something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just remember what I told you, CJ. Your clothes that you want to push, build your wealth. You're a young man. You know, I just told you about ARK investment. You'd be surprised how quick it can happen. You know, or that stock that I told you about previously, where I bought it for $3 and change, and it went on to $17 and back down to $14. Imagine you bought a lot of shares of that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're buying stocks, just if you can't afford it, man, just keep on putting money. Just keep on adding money. The more shares you have of a proven company or a company that you believe, you're gonna gain. You're gonna gain. So just build your wealth. Continue joining us. Stay in the group, and you'll have success.
Okay.
And I did end it with ARK investment. Can't go wrong. They're on to everything that's happening. I can't give you no better information than that. I can't end it no better than that. Everything that Alan spoke to you guys about, everything that I shared with you guys, ARK investment probably got it. And that's an ETF. So that's a slow growth. But if you want to spend the next 5 years paying into it as if you're paying a bill, I promise you, it'll be like Apple, Google, and all of them all over again. So if I were you guys, I'd get about 20 jobs. That way I start just putting money in. All right, guys. Nobody
All
wants
right,
to
fellas.
All right. Have a good night.
You
All right,
guys,
have a good night, guys.
you too.
All right.
All right, have a good trading week.